A task force or a task group is a group of specially selected ships designed to carry out a special task or mission. Now, in the case of Task Force 77, we have 3 attack carriers and supporting destroyers and cruisers.
Admiral, the 8 o'clock surface now shows low-level convergence into the op area with the high still building up in here and the weather.
We are all seamen here, and the weather is of prime importance to us. To me, the commander, the daily weather briefing provides an indication as to what the men in this task force and the ships and planes are going to have to cope with in carrying out our mission. And we're all of us here living in ships, scattered over hundreds of miles at sea, doing one job and working together.
Of this task force, the men of the aircraft carrier Kitty Hawk. Lieutenant Ernest Brazil speaking.
And no matter how many times you're catted off this carrier, you just never get used to the feel of a catapult shot. It's something that can never grow old, something you can never become accustomed to. It's somewhat akin to being hit in the chest by a Mack truck. Yet still, it's a very fine feeling because you know everything's working properly and you're going to get off the end of the aircraft carrier flying.
Those catapults out there are my responsibility, and without them, the Kitty Hawk is nothing but a hotel, floating hotel for 5,000 men. When you're on that flight deck, you got to have eyes in the back of your head. Once we get on the flight deck and start operating with the high noise level we have, we do most of our talking by hands and by lip movements. Just what you can see topside is only half of what is going on this catapult. The people's below decks are just as important as the people's topside, and it's just one big team altogether. As you'll see, the flight deck crew hooking up the airplane, we have 5 men working together, and they have to work together or they're going to kill each other. I personally worked and trained all of my crew on the Kitty Hawk to my own satisfaction. In almost 100,000 aircraft shots, we have never put an airplane in the water on account of a malfunction of the catapult itself.
Among the young crew of this floating city is a solid sprinkling of old-timers. Commander Malcolm Guess is one.
As a squadron executive officer, it's been my privilege and opportunity to observe these young pilots in action. We ask them to do more today than they ever were required to do at my lifetime at the stage of training the kids are going through. They continually, daily, are asked to do a terrific job, and they complete this job all on their own.
Ever since I've been on a ship, of course, the thing that's always impressed me so much is a hidden talent, or the guy that's off on the side that's doing a job that nobody ever really pays any attention to until he fails to do that job. And that's where I was referring to you about the using a very good example, since you actually can see it from standing up on the bridge of the chap. All he does every day is take a bunch of tow bars, and they're not really light. They're made out of aluminum, good type of alloy, and put them on this cart, and all he does is pull them forward where they're available to put on an airplane. Well, the reason that his job's so important is, you notice, as our airplanes land, they taxi forward, and they park them up on the bow. Well, they park them, and they park them at about a 45-degree angle. They park there, and then as they pulled out, well, prior to being pulled out, of course, they're being gassed. And as soon as they're gassed, they want to be able to pull that airplane right out of that spot, pull it right aft as soon as recovery over with, and park it. Well, they can't pull it aft unless the tow bar's on it. The object is to catch a bunch of airplanes in a shorter period of time as you can, and to launch a bunch of airplanes in a shorter period of time as you have. They don't get the glory and the stuff of the other people out there on the flight deck where the action is, where it's nice to watch. Boy, there goes an airplane. Look at that. Boy, isn't that dangerous? It catches the eye. These people don't catch the eye, but their job, in my opinion, is just as important as the people in the action.
310 airborne. Falcon 310 airborne, 36.
The air boss sits up on high, seeing it all happen. A carrier can launch scores of aircraft in less than an hour. Thousands of men hurry around the flight and hangar decks in apparent confusion. But there is no confusion. The air boss is boss, and his flight deck control center is a good symbol of the order woven into the wild hustle of a carrier vessel. Every aircraft has a place to be every second of an operation.
A7's to starboard, whale on the point.
Behind the carrier, it's plane guard destroyer, waiting, in case the worst happens. If the worst doesn't happen, they throw in a dummy named Oscar and rehearse for it. That's their task in the task force, to wait, to be ready. Commander Bert Myatt, Jr., skipper, USS Black.
Despite all the electronic equipment we have in this ship for this type of work, in the destroyer Navy, seamanship is still all important.
This type work has special meaning to me in that I was an aviator myself one time. I went into the water off of a carrier on a dark night off coast of Korea. This was off Incheon, the night before the Incheon invasion in September 1950. So I know how the fellows feel up there, and this is why we put forth a little more effort to do a real good job in this plane guarding work.
They wait for months at a time. One man with the shark rifle. The sea and time flowing past them, while on the big buddy they're guarding, a continuous non-stop drama is being played. That is the carrier's task.
All right, gents, don't forget to use your pink code word cards for the day.
Our dependency on other people starts right here in the ready room before a mission. We depend upon the photo reconnaissance people who go in over the beach unarmed, take pictures of our targets, bring them back out here. They're developed, put into the computers. We have the people flying the electronic reconnaissance missions. They also get the same type of information, and then this is all correlated together in the computers. Then our air intelligence people down at the other end of the ship correlate all this together, work out our missions for us, and we go down there and pick up this information that we need before we actually go out on a mission. We come down here to the ready room, and we have all this information right in front of us, all laid out here.
Okay, gents, you've had the rundown on the target, you've got the route, and how we're getting in there, standard formation on the way down. Once we get ready to make the turn in to go coast in, we'll pick up a standard tactical formation, get it outspread nice and wide, and I'll call my throttle setting there, and we'll make our run in. Remember to keep the bird moving. Hadn't been a lot of fire, but we don't want to take any chances on it.
Okay, when we're ready for our mission, we start off by putting on right around 70 pounds worth of flight gear. The survival vest carries your radio, your flares, your dye marker, your survival kit, a small medical kit, water bottles. These are all the things that you really need to survive if you're going to be down in the jungle for any length of time. Of course, you strap on a .38 caliber pistol on your hip, and you're ready to go on up to the flight deck and get out there and do it. We actually wear so much gear that at times you have the appearance of a big old teddy bear. You pretty well waddle up to the airplane, and at some point in the future, I think you can foresee a derrick to just pick up a pilot and sit him in the cockpit.
The largest carrier is no more than a moving patch in a heaving liquid void. The landing signal officer, the LSO, is therefore an indispensable man.
If you give me the choice between one of the richest insurance policies that you can give me or give me a good LSO, I'll take the LSO any day. Admittedly, every once in a while, you're going to have what we call a hairy one, or, boy, that's a wild one type pass. Knock that off. Don't do it again type thing. This occurs periodically, but it's nothing you accept. It's something you try to correct. The LSO picks him up approximately 3/4 of a mile.
Bring it into the brake. Roger, interval at 10:30.
Recovery complete. Recovery complete.